What's up? Today I'm talking about the 3 reasons to not be affectionate on your first date. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, 3 reasons to not be affectionate on your first date. And you might be thinking, Silver Bachelor, why would I not want to be affectionate on the first date? That kind of goes contrary to, building sexual tension and all that stuff. Well, that's what this video is all about because there is a science behind this. So, before I get into the 3 things, because you got to wait for it this time, is you have no idea how many stories I've heard from other women where they've gone on a first date and they've said to me that the guy was way too touchy-feely. Okay? Also, look, just because I'm the Silver Bachelor and I've been on hundreds of dates in the last 2 years. I've been single for 2 years, was married before. Dating now is way easier than it was when I was in my 20s. And I've probably been on more dates in the last 2 years than most of you guys have been on in your entire life. So for example, the last 3 weeks, I've been out on 8 first dates. Right. Like, if I choose, I could have 2, 3 dates every single week. I meet people all the time organically. Sometimes I play around with dating apps. So I now have a black belt in dating, man. Like, I know this shit like the back of my hand. And I know when something's not going well. And by the way, not all of my dates go well. Like, sometimes, actually, I would say maybe 40% of the time, because I only date typically 7s, 8s, and 9s, 40% of the time, they're not into me. And that just happens, right? And I never know which 60% that's going to be. So maybe it's not 40%, maybe it's like 25%-ish. But anyways, so here's the thing. The number one thing that when I can tell that she's into me is the affection thing. So I'll get into the 3 right now and then I'll share some stories, okay? So number 1 is if you are the first one to be affectionate, it's possible that she will interpret that as you're needy. Number 2, she could interpret it depending on the way you're touching her. If you come across too much, she could interpret that as you're creepy. So you have to build up to this stuff. You can't, it's a runway strategy, and I've said that in a few of my videos. You have to start off slow and then eventually get going before you're up in the air, kind of thing, right? You can't just all of a sudden put your arm around her, is what I mean. Like, some of you guys might disagree with me, and hey, whatever works for you, but I'm telling you, I've been on a lot of dates, and this is the way that it's typically worked for me. So number 2 is you could come across as creepy, depending on the way you're touching her, okay? Number 3 is by you not being affectionate with her, it shows you have control, and women like that. They like a guy that can have self-control. So as an example, and I did a video on how to pick up women at a bar. When I say a bar, a restaurant bar. So as an example, last night this happened to me. I'm sitting at a restaurant bar, 3 hot chicks, friends, sit beside me, not friends of mine, just their friends. Sit beside me. The one that was directly beside me, she was a solid 8. She had a skirt on. Her legs were gorgeous, and she was wearing sexy heels. I could see her little pedicure toes. I was like, damn, I'm not a feet guy, but I noticed. And she smelled good. I was like, shit, right? So here's the thing. Even in that situation, did I strike up a conversation with her right away? Nope. I ignored her ass. That's what you have to. So when you're on a first date, you have to have self-control, okay? So this is what I do. So I just told you what not to do. That is to be affectionate first and why. Now I'm going to tell you what to do. Okay, so when I'm on a first date, I let them come to me in whatever time frame works for them during the first date. Okay, so let me explain. So when you're having a conversation with these women and the date is going well, if she likes you, and I have a story to share with you, if she likes you, she will touch you in some way, shape, or form. Usually it's a form of her laughing, that's so funny, and she touches your shoulder. Okay, that's how it starts. She will touch your shoulder a little bit if she likes you. So, true story, one of my dates that I was on about a month ago, I went out on 2 dates with her. The first date, she didn't touch me at all. Zero, which is pretty rare. But I'm I'm because I've done this a few times, but I liked her and she seemed interested. So I thought maybe she's shy. So I didn't make a move, did not touch her. Date number 2 comes along and we go out. Same thing. She didn't touch me a single time. Okay, not once, not like, that's so funny. I'm just exaggerating, right? Trying to pretend I'm a woman. So at the end of the date, it was appropriate where it was good night. We're saying our goodbyes. I give her a hug and I go in for the kiss. And she turned her cheek. I was like, oh shit. So there was not going to be a third date. There has not been a third date. I basically Caspered her. Caspering instead of ghosting basically means you just stop texting. So I knew deep down in my instincts that she just genuinely was not interested in me. And I didn't want to be used. So that's the thing, guys, is that if she doesn't touch you at all within 2 dates and you go in for a kiss on the date number 2, date number 3 max, you go in for a kiss and she just pecks you on the lips or she turns her cheek, I'm sorry, man. She's not into you and she's just going to use you. How I know this for a fact, I have recently asked 10 different women in situations, bartenders, whatever, right? And I've asked them, I've explained the situation. I've said, if you're out with a guy and it's date number 2, date number 3, and he goes in for the kiss and you don't kiss him like with your tongue and everything, does that mean you're not into him? And every single one of them, 10 out of 10, they've said they're not into you or they're not into the guy. Because by date number 2, date number 3, they're so excited to see you and see you again, and they like you, they're attracted to you, that they want to kiss you. So that's why I say, do not be affectionate with her. That's what I mean. Do not be affectionate with her on the first date unless she's affectionate first. So that's what you want. You want to have this control. Let her be the one that comes to you, touches you on the shoulder, and is starting to touch you. And then when you touch her, you could say something along the lines and she'll start laughing and like you touch her on the shoulder a couple times. And then you can say, hey, I know this is random, but I figured you're okay with me touching you because you touched me first. She'll start laughing, right? So that's what you could do. So I encourage you to not be affectionate on the first date unless she is affectionate first. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.